The latest one that just came out is called Hungry for a Change. And I'd like you to watch this for a minute.
Dear Diary, today I feel very sad and I want to eat everything.
The problem is that we are not eating food anymore. We are eating food like products. And they are adorned. They are made to look better and smell better so that people are attracted to them.
It's not your fault. You're programmed to put on fat whenever there is food available. But now there's a lot of food available, but it's the wrong kind.
Sugar is in everything. In America, we're eating about 22 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Even the milk hasn't escaped. So, let me just show you. One kid, just for 5 years of elementary school, sugar, just from milk.
You might as well be rolling up the kid's sleeve and putting in heroin, because it's the same.
The marketing essentially lies to you because it presents you with the promise you're going to be sexy and popular and cool, but in reality, you're going to be obese and miserable and sick.
Nothing else does it in your brain quite like a Diet Cola. And that's because there's a deadly combination there of aspartame and caffeine.
I think most people believe the FDA actually has their own scientists that do this analysis, but nothing could be further from the truth.
If I was in the food industry, what am I looking to do? I want to sell you more food. They're into just selling a market.
You can lose weight on a diet, but it's a little bit like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. I mean, you can get 10 pounds off your body through sheer force, but you're going to have to pay back with interest.
People know this, so why are highly intelligent people not stopping? Because they don't know the nature of the trap.
The whole dieting paradigm is flawed.
I was 31 when I realized I don't know how to take care of myself and I am sick. So I had to go back and learn all the things that I wish I had known as a child.
I tried everything. I did witch doctors, I did mud baths, acupuncture, I did the lot. The one thing which I was really afraid to face up to was changing what I put into my mouth.
I've never heard of a raw food restaurant. Raw food, how do you cook raw food? I thought vegan was a planet.
I was over 400 pounds, and I had very bad sleep apnea. I was borderline type 2 diabetic.
Cleansing and detoxification will make you lose weight, will make your eyes white, will make your skin glow.
If somebody's got beautiful skin, it invites us to a deeper understanding about what's going on inside their body.
What we're talking about is a real diet in the sense of what a species eats. When we get onto our real diet, we don't have to think about these things anymore.
What do you think the body's going to do? It's not going to reject this at all. It's going to look and say, now I'm on board. Now you're good to me, let me shine for you.
Outside of, okay, we need to go back to eating real food. And I agree. And I'm saying that we're not saying don't have real food. How many think people are getting real food today? No. Why? Huh? Well, no, let's think about why we're not getting real food or enough real food. It's not available. Even when we want to get it, it's not available. And if we could get it, it'd be expensive. We don't have time to be out there cooking 3 times a day. So it sets up a problem. What's that problem? Malnutrition. It's a global epidemic. Folks, you realize 3 billion people in this world are malnourished. Now put your businessman hat on for a second. 3 billion people. Is that a big enough market? What do you think? Huh? It's big enough. When I think business, I want to be the biggest market I could possibly find is what I want to be involved in. Does that make sense? The more people I can solve problems for, right, the bigger my tip is going to be, right? that make sense? Do you believe that this is a serious problem? Serious, right? Do you think this is a growing problem? Do you think we're going to solve the malnutrition problem? Folks, think again. While I couldn't sleep 2 days ago, that's been the last few nights. Well, I was too excited because it was May 1st and we had a big thing going on in the U.S., so I spent all night working with the U.S. and then all day working with the New Zealanders. And I was watching CNN, and they gave me like an incredible insight on this problem. Do you realize in the next 20 years we have to grow 70% more food than we do right now? 70% more. Why do you think that is? We have a growing population, and the other statistics they said is there's more students that are studying public relations, because I'm sure that's important, than there's people studying agriculture. How many of your children want to be farmers? You have one? One. And you're the first one in the last 6 months that I've been asking that question. Because everybody else wants to work on computers, they want to work on cool stuff, fun stuff. Nobody wants to be a farmer. Well, we got a problem. If you got more mouths to feed and you have less people producing food, that's going to create a stress. So do you think this problem is going to go away anytime soon? Okay, so we got a serious problem. We got a growing problem. Do you think this is a global problem? Absolutely. Now think about it for a second. If you have that big of a problem, and let's say we had, even if it was just 1% of the solution to that problem, how big is that market? It's huge, folks. It's humongous, as we say in Texas. It's humongous. 1 billion people are acutely malnourished. Now, the thing I wanted you to, when you get to watch, by the way, if you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch the rest of that movie. Because during that movie, they propose a hypothesis, which is that the reason people are getting fatter is because they're not getting enough nutrition. Overfed, undernourished. Well, I thought that was just a problem in America. I thought you guys here eat pretty good. And then I was on Jetstar, flying from Oakland to Wellington, and this was the back of the magazine. What does it say? Wow.
Are you overfed but undernourished?
I said, bingo. This is a global problem. That problem exists here as much as it does in the U.S. So, folks, half of all childhood health death is because of malnutrition. 5 million children under the age of 5 die because of malnutrition. Not lack of food, malnutrition. But that problem is not about children, it's about you and I. All of us. So that's why Mannatech has a mission, a purpose. Read this with me. What's our purpose? Develop and deliver the most innovative new strategies for solving the global epidemic of malnutrition. That's a big, what we call a big, hairy, audacious goal. Right? We are creating right now a movement. It's a movement about educating people. Sean, this is not about selling pills and powders. It's about educating people and getting rid of the lies that have been perpetrated on us for the last 50 years. This movie deals with that some. There's an industry that is absolutely spending billions of dollars to make sure that we are ignorant about what is really good nutrition. And for lack of knowledge, people are perishing every day for lack of knowledge. Not knowing is not blissful at this point. It really is fatal. U.S. statistics, over 215 million people are living with diet and activity-related poor health conditions. 40 different chronic diseases are tied in directly to bad nutrition and lack of exercise. Is that a big problem? Now, is this a problem that you want to just sit back and go, well, you know, it's somebody's problem. I don't want to do anything about it. It's not me. Maybe it is you. And if it's not you, maybe it's your children. If it's not your children, maybe it's your grandchildren. Folks, we are eating more processed food today than ever before. It's called food-like substances. 90%, now these are U.S. statistics, but I think, you know, you can relate to it. 90% of what we buy today is processed food. You know, it's interesting when you walk into a supermarket, because you need to get milk and eggs and the staples. Where do they normally put that stuff? In the back of the supermarket. Why? So you can walk through all the aisles and get the 90% of the stuff that is not real food. That's how they get you. Do you know that if I'm putting stuff in a supermarket, the shelves that are at eye level cost more? Do you realize the supermarkets don't buy the food? They just provide shelf space. You guys know that, right? But if it's at eye level, and also if it's at this level, what do they put at this level? Children's stuff. Folks, this game is rigged. People don't even understand. We think obesity is happening by accident. It's not. Lack of good nutrition, lack of nutrients, and we are being manipulated every single day to do what is good for them. Do you agree with that, Sean? Does that make sense? I mean, does that kind of resonate with you a little bit? Do you understand what we're dealing with here? Ben, are you following me? All right. Now, what was the solution? Well, okay, so we have a food industry that has got all this processed stuff, so we don't get enough nutrition. On the other side, they said, well, obviously, everybody's going to need to supplement. And guess what? Now we have the solution they propose is that we have inorganically sourced vitamins and minerals, basically stuff that comes from coal tar and petroleum. Yummy. Okay, as Ray Robbins says, unless you need to be lubricated, that's probably not so good for you. Okay? It's inexpensive and readily standardized to meet RDIs, which means nothing because your body cannot process synthetics. Do you guys agree with me? 50% of the population takes a synthetic-made vitamin and supplement. And everybody is consuming synthetically enriched processed food. Is that the solution? Did we get it wrong or did we get it wrong? So what does that set up then? This is the problem. So now what we got to talk about is, okay, let me not forget this one. Daily Mail, April 16, 2008. I land at Heathrow Airport. Early morning. Straight from Dallas. 3 major magazines, newspapers, front page, bold letters, can vitamins do you harm? Another one said, your vitamins are killing you. Now, why was I going to London? To do a seminar on nutrition, supplementation, vitamins. I figure I might as well sit down and read this because I may just have to go home. Right? I don't want to have stuff thrown at me when I go to this meeting. So I literally, with my bags, I go in there, I buy the magazine, I buy the newspaper, I start reading it. What did you think I found out? Were they talking about real food, vitamins? No. What were they talking about? Synthetic vitamins. I bought everything that store had. I took all that with me to the meeting because that was the meeting. I had a different solution. And now here, this gets to be from a serious problem to a really, really serious problem. If we got studies after studies after studies after studies telling us that synthetic vitamins increase the risk of death, if you knew that and you didn't do anything about it, what does that make you as a person? Huh? What did you say? Idiots. Oh, cool. I can't say that, but you can say that.
Idiot.
Okay. All right, idiots. Okay. But not only that, I mean, if you didn't do something for yourself, that would probably make you an idiot. But if you didn't, at least with the information that you have, if you didn't think you should alert other people about this, that makes you kind of selfish and derelict in your function of just being a good neighbor, a good father, a good brother, a good uncle. Why, if you know this information, why would you sit back and not want to make sure other people around you are aware? Folks, we are in the education business. What do? I educate. That's what I do. People get all spooked out because, oh, I don't want to sell anything. You don't have to sell anything. The problem is already there. The need already exists. All you have to do is educate people so they can make the right decision for themselves. That, for me, I couldn't know this and just take a nonchalant attitude about it. And there's a thing about me, personally, I hate ignorance. I hate ignorance. And my pastor says that what you hate, what makes you mad, is your assignment to fix. And I believe that. It's my assignment. If it makes me mad, I've just found my passion. Sometimes your passion is not just what you like, it's what you hate is your passion. And you've been called to fix it. I know I've been called to fix it. I used to sell soap for 28 years. My buddies used to call me Bubbles at the office for years. Hey, Bubbles. Nothing wrong with the soap business. At least it's a clean business. And there was hope in soap, right? You don't change anybody's life with soap. People say, why did you come to Mannatech after 28 years? Because I wanted to change lives, exactly. I knew that I couldn't let people live in that ignorance if I knew something that they needed to know. And I'll work day and night. I'll fly 18 hours around the world. I'll talk to a group of 5, 10, or 5,000. I need to tell them. Now, what they do with it is their own business. Folks, you look at these things, you go, but why do smart, intelligent people who know this continue to go on like it's normal? Think about the tobacco industry. 100 years we were told, oh, it's okay. You're going to look cool. You're going to be sexy. They didn't tell you about your teeth are going to fall off. Your face is going to look like gray, like, dead, warmed over. You're going to stink. It was sexy to smoke. You were killing yourself one cigarette at a time. 100 years, and people knew there was something bad about it, but nobody did nothing because there was money involved. Does that make sense? So don't be surprised that even though this information is out there, that a lot of people are not doing anything about it. But I tell you what, that's exciting because that's the opportunity. That's the opportunity. In every adversity, there lies a seed of opportunity. I'm glad some people just not do anything about it because that means those of us who do something about it, you're going to get a lot of, you're going to get the due rewards for that.